to remind ourselves of the event. As soon as the minister takes lead to the high table, I request all of us to raise up. They will exit from here. Then we shall have the anthems. The CEO, you should be ready with your speech of Uganda Airlines. We shall have a speech from the High Commissioner of India to Uganda. We shall have a speech from the Minister of Foreign Affairs made by Director Ambassador Erika Mahunje, who is representing the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who will take the honor to invite the Minister of Tourism, State of Tourism, to give a keynote speech, then later launch this event. Then we shall go in a Q&A photo session.
About the lady from our airline is she's already here. National anthem. Good morning, everyone. Can we start with the national anthem of Uganda? After that, we have the national anthem of India. One stanza each. All raise. We can take your seats, please. You are welcome to Uganda Media Center. Distinguished delegates here and members of the Fourth Estate. My name is Dennis Katunje. I'm the acting deputy ED at Uganda Media Center, your host today. So I am taking this opportunity to welcome you. Protocol Officer Moses Sahuka will run us through the proceedings of this morning, but this program is for the launch Uganda's participation at the Otm-Bombay Geo World Convention Center. OTM, I'm told, is the on-time mandate, and the JIO is the joint implementation opportunity. This will take place on the 30th, yeah, and it will be in India. So I will take this opportunity to welcome you to run us through the program of today.
Thank you very much, Deputy ED. Honorable Minister of State for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Honorable Martin Mugara, the High Commissioner of India to Uganda, and the representative of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Eli Kamahunje, and the Fourth Estate. You're most welcome to this event. My role is simple, to take you through the event. We are done with almost half of it. I'm going to take the opportunity to invite the CEO, Uganda Airlines, to come at the podium, to come and give a brief remark. Thereafter, we shall expect the High Commissioner of India to Uganda to follow on, to give a brief remark. Thereafter, we shall invite the representative of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Kamahunje, to take the podium, and then we will later on invite the Minister to give a keynote speech. Madam CEO, the podium is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator or Director of Ceremonies. Let me remind you, sir, that I'm not the CEO, but I'm just representing Ms. Jennifer Bamturaki, who's currently on leave and not available to be here today. My name is Rahim Shakila Lamar. I head Corporate Affairs and Sustainability at Uganda Airlines. To start off, Honorable Minister of State of Tourism, His Excellency, the High Commissioner of India to Uganda, and also the representative of the Minister of the Foreign Affairs, thank you for according the airline this opportunity to be here this evening. Uganda Airlines has partnered with the Indian High Commission to participate in the open outbound travel market. So we thought to ourselves when we registered for this event, and like other countries do, they move together. For example, if there is an event, they'll move with the tourism board, they'll move with the investment authority of that country, they'll move with the airline of the national carrier of the country, they'll also move with other agencies that would like to sell their country, and also, of course, showcase opportunities for their country. So we thought to ourselves, why don't we partner with the High Commission of Uganda to India, and also partner with UTB, partner with Ministry of Tourism. Hence, Uganda Wildlife came on board to be able to sell this country and to showcase the beauty and, of course, give it the limelight that it deserves. So to go back to India, we opened India in 2023 as one of our international routes, apart from Dubai. We thought to ourselves that opening India was a call for a century. Looking at over 45 years, we had not had a direct flight to India. And looking at the number of Indians, our brothers and sisters, that we have in the region, but also in the country. And also looking at, it is one of the biggest economies in the world, and also promoting business, tourism, and trade. So in this case, we're looking at this event as an opportunity for us to be able to pull business for this country, because we expect 1,600 exhibitors to this event. We expect over 60 countries as part of the event. And then also we are having a big pavilion where we'll be able to display our country's offering. And our agenda to this big event, we are looking at promoting the airline, giving it visibility. And it comes at a time where we are planning to also expand in India to provide our guests more travel convenience to other 2 points. So those announcements will be made in due point as when they materialize. And then also when we look at India right now and celebrating a year into the entry and expansion into this market, we look at the opportunities that it has granted the airline. When you look at now the busiest and more profound and very promising route is Lagos and Tebe, Mumbai. This means that there is a lot of opportunity. If you look at the connections, the transfers that we make when we have this flight, because it's 3 times weekly, but when it's one of, and also another busiest connecting route is Nairobi and Tebe, Mumbai. There is still opportunity there. When you look at business also, potential, you're looking at the new routes that we've just opened. We're looking at Zambia and also Zimbabwe because of the trade opportunities that we have enabled by opening these routes. And this means there is a lot of cargo opportunities for our agro products to be exported there. But Honorable Minister, I would like to inform you that we have had challenges of exporting to India, and this you're aware of, sir. And also I'm sure the ambassadors are aware of this, because in the 1970s there were a number of items that were gazetted and they're not allowed in India, and we've been trying to push and ensure that our belly, the belly of the Airbus, does not go empty. But you can imagine that the belly of the Airbus goes empty and then it returns full. So we've, through diplomatic relations or commercial diplomacy, we appeal to your good ministry and your indulgence to be able to unlock the potential of some of these products. The letters have been written to respective authorities to try and unlock this market. But as I've told you, there is a lot of opportunity for Uganda in terms of ghee, in terms of avocado, in terms of pineapples, and many other things that we can cross. So, and also, as I conclude, sir, we now think that we are steadily connecting Uganda to the rest of the world, and also trying to stabilize fares on different routes, because when we open this direct flight, it means that we're stabilizing fares. They become a bit affordable for people, and also as we expand cargo operations and provide advisory services free of charge, we think that Ugandan products will be marketed, will be sold out there. But most importantly, it's for people to understand the trade and regulatory regimes in these countries, to be able to understand phytosanitary and sanitary standards, regulatory regimes, eco-labeling, and among other issues. So this OTM will unlock some of these things, will bring to the fore contacts, knowledge, market knowledge, but also interactions and networking with other countries. So we'll be exhibiting with the High Commission of Uganda to India, and then also Uganda Wildlife Authority, and also 6 travel agents to this event. So thank you very much for inviting us to be able to participate in this briefing and for good in my country. Thank you.
Thank you, Uganda Airlines. At this juncture, I invite the High Commissioner to switch on his microphone and make his statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiques, Bahintuka Martin Mugara, Ambassador Ili Kafiro from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, government representatives and media participants. I am very happy to participate here today in this event as the media launch for the outbound to travel market and tourism expo. As we gather here in Uganda Media Center in Kampala, we have a mutual objective between the two countries to strengthen the bonds between our two nations through tourism, cultural exchanges, and economic collaboration. As my friend from Uganda Airlines just mentioned about some of the challenges about export and all, I promise that we will work through with the Indian authorities so that phytosanitary and other requirements for the export of fresh agricultural products from Uganda to India can take place. I will also mention as a part of my remarks what the trade and other facilities that we have between the two countries. But let me first start with the this open travel market OTM travel expo, which takes place every year in Mumbai, the financial capital of India. This year it is between January 30th and February 1st for 3 days. And this is an excellent opportunity for Uganda to present, explore the Pearl of Africa tourism to Indian market through a dedicated space. And I understand that Uganda is participating first time in this expo. So Uganda Tourism Board, Uganda Wildlife Authority, Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, and the Association of Uganda Tour Operators through its representative companies, they have a marvelous chance to showcase their unparalleled tourism potential to a dynamic and expanding Indian audience. And let's understand what is going on in India's travel market. It is among the world's fastest growing sectors, driven by rising incomes, improved connectivity, and burgeoning economy and demographic trends that make Indian population more urban and youthful with an increased desire to travel abroad. In 2024, about 30 million Indians traveled abroad, and the market value would be about $19 billion. Popular destinations include US, Egypt, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Vietnam, Japan, Thailand, Malaysia, etc. And I believe that with targeted promotional activities, Uganda can benefit significantly from this thriving market. This country has a very special appeal to capture the market for nature tourism, and a significant proportion of outbound tourism is actually for nature tourism, with thriving wildlife and diversity here. To further enhance our bilateral relations, it is important to remember the rich history we share. India and Uganda established diplomatic relations in 1962, and since then we have enjoyed a strong and mutually beneficial partnership. I am also happy to note that the source of the Nile River in Jinja hosts a monument of Mahatma Gandhi, the revered apostle of peace and father of our nation in India. So, in recent years, Uganda has shown remarkable progress and is including in diplomacy and at international stage. For example, last year successful hosting the non-alignment movement and G77 summits, and Uganda Airlines has just we discussed in detail launched a direct flight to from Entebbe to Mumbai. So it has helped to enhance our relations. We also have other kind of initiatives between the two countries. For example, establishment of first overseas campus of India's National Forensic Science University in Jinja, which specializes in forensic sciences and cyber security, which will help to plug a significant knowledge and expertise gap in Uganda. And India also remains a major destination for Ugandan nationals for medical tourism because we offer quality and affordable healthcare solutions. We also offer Ugandan business persons gratis free visa for business purposes. And also, as I mentioned earlier, we have our strong bilateral trade. We from India offer duty-free tariff preference, what is called India's scheme of DFTP scheme for least developed countries. It helps to expand our bilateral relations. I also take this opportunity to thank His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and his government, represented through the Minister of Tourism and our Foreign Ministry officials here, to provide for having provided a very supportive environment for businesses, including an industrialization policy facilitating foreign investment, and Indians are among the leading foreign investors in Uganda. Just to give an example of our bilateral trade in the financial year 23-24, as per the statistics from the government of Uganda, bilateral trade amounted to US dollar 1.842 billion, with Uganda's export of about 952 million and import from India about 890 million. So that demonstrates a deep economic interdependence between two countries. For capacity building, we also offer various kind of scholarships to Ugandan nationals, whether through our Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program or through Indian Council for Cultural Relationships scholarships to the students for pursuing higher studies in India. In addition, we also have our strong defense cooperation, for example, through Indian military's advisory and training team led by senior military personnel stationed at Uganda's Army Senior Command and Staff College in Kimaka, Jinja since February 2010. So they help in training the senior officers of the Ugandan Armed Forces, fostering skills and understanding between our defense establishments. Further, we have a strong Indian community here, though small in numbers, about 35,000, but strong in terms of ties and their economic and cultural contributions, bridging the gap between the two nations. They are very active in various sectors, whether it is manufacturing, trade, agro-processing, IT, and they are further, more Indian companies are keen to invest in Uganda, and from the High Commission we help them, and we also receive good support from government of Uganda, And I'm sure with this, we will have more companies coming here to tap the potential that we have in this country with the rapidly growing population and rapidly growing economy. India is one of the fastest growing major economies. We, like for example, in the last year 2024, India attracted a foreign direct investment of over $80 billion, and this is a example that why our bilateral cooperation, there is a benefit for both the sides in terms of trade, investment and cultural ties. So let us continue to grow this robust relationship, and this event and subsequent participation of Uganda in the Tourism Expo in Mumbai is starting later this month. I am sure will help to plug one of the less used potential between the two countries in terms of flow of tourists from the two countries to each other. And once again, I thank everyone for making this possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. At this juncture, I invite the representative of the Minister of Foreign Affairs to make the statement of the Minister. Thereafter, he will invite the Minister of State for Tourism to give the keynote speech. Your Excellency, Ambassador, the podium is yours.
Thank you, our Master of Ceremony today. Honorable Minister of State for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Honorable Martin Mugara, Your Excellency Singh Warat, India's High Commissioner to Uganda, the Chief Executive Officers of Uganda Airlines, Uganda Tourism Board, executive officers from the Uganda Wildlife Authority, and the Uganda Media Center, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As it has been stated, I'm representing the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and I'm here to represent my minister who could not be, our acting minister who could not be here because of other urgent state duties, but asked me to represent him and to read his statement. Therefore, I read the statement as he made it, and I start with open court. I'm happy to welcome you all here today as we formally launch Uganda's participation in the forthcoming Open Outbound Travel Market, Otm-Bombay Tourism Expo, scheduled to take place from 30th January to 1st February 2025 at Geo World Convention Center, Bombay. As you are all aware, the government of Uganda has embarked on an ambitious strategy of growing the economy at tenfold from 49.5 billion as of the financial year 2023-2024 to United States dollars 500 billion in the next 15 years. To achieve this, government intends to leverage 4 key areas as it embarks on the NDP 4 that will replace the NDP 3, which we are currently running under. The 4 areas are agro-industrialization, including light manufacturing; 2, mineral beneficiation, including oil and gas; tourism promotion; and then science, technology, and innovation, which are called STIs, termed ATMs. This is where the Minister of Foreign Affairs, including her missions abroad, have been asked to play a major role to create necessary partnerships between Uganda and those where the missions are based. Apart from industrialization, the government wants to promote tourism differently. The target is that by 2040, our tourism sector brings in 50 billion United States dollars. It is therefore gratifying that Uganda missions abroad that have been financed to pilot economic and commercial diplomacy are living to their expectations. The choice of our mission in India to make Uganda participate for the first time at the prestigious Indo-Asia Travel Market Show, the leading trade show in India and Asia that brings destination Uganda at the doorstep of the potentially world's largest tourism and travel market, is a correct one and a step in the right direction. May I take this opportunity to thank Uganda's High Commissioner to India and Uganda Airlines for their shared vision and ensuring that this year around, Uganda is present at Otm-Bombay. Similarly, I thank the relevant stakeholders, namely the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Uganda Wildlife Authority, and Uganda Tourism Board, including the private tour operators, for this. Uganda's participation at this Global Tourism Expo is guided by the theme, Explore Uganda, the Power of Africa, marking Uganda's footprint and marketing our tourism potential to over 600 exhibitors from over 60 countries and at least 30 plus Indian states and other Indian countries at this event. Uganda's participation in the Otm-Bombay is informed by a number of objectives that some have been elaborated by the Chief Executive of the Uganda Airlines and will also further be elaborated on by the Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities. Beyond the OTM, I'm informed that our High Commission in London, in New Delhi, is organizing a farm trip that can give first-hand experience of Uganda's unique tourism products to selected sailors of the destination Africa for them to truly understand and appreciate what Uganda uniquely offers. Your Excellency, the Indian High Commissioner to Uganda, Uganda appreciates the win-win approach between our two governments, as you have stated, and which have created an enabling environment for the promoting people-to-people relations, the exchange of visas at the highest level, and granting permission for Uganda Airlines to fly the Entebbe-Mumbai route, which has shortened the distance from 12 hours to just 7 hours direct flight, enabling seamless flow of goods, are a few landmark examples that have given impetus to the progressive trade and investment relations between our two countries. And we believe this will be able to resolve most of the outstanding obstacles that have not helped our traders in the past to trade. This should be therefore be leveraged on to build momentum for tourism. Finally, I want to commend your unwavering commitment and that of our High Commission in New Delhi in ensuring that these relations continue to flourish. I am confident that working together, both government and the private sector, there is a great deal of opportunities to unlock for the progress of our two peoples. End quote. I thank you for listening to the minister's speech. Now, may I now take this singular honor, Honorable Minister, to invite you as our chief guest today to address us and to launch the Otm-Bombay.
Thank you, Ambassador Kamahunje, representing the Minister. The Indian Ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Singh Rawat, Ambassador Kamahunje here representing the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Uganda Airlines representing the CEO, and representatives from the Ministry of Tourism and its agencies, members of the Fourth Estate, good morning. A lot has already been said. In detail, introducing the reason as to why we are here today. And I'll just summarize because the figures were given. And I'm glad that the Indian ambassador is here and he listened from Uganda Airlines on the challenges that they raised. And our commitment is to continue engaging to make sure that that route earns us more value when cargo is added. But let me just make these few remarks. It is my distinct honor to address this press conference as we prepare for Uganda's participation in the Otm-Bombay Trade Fair, scheduled to take place from 30th January to 1st February 2025 at the Geo World Convention Center. We're all aware that tourism is a key driver to Uganda's economy, contributing significantly to employment, foreign exchange earnings, and community development. Participation in events like the OTM directly supports our efforts to diversify markets, attract high-value tourists, and generate the revenue needed to uplift communities and drive national development. This event is not just another trade fair, it is one of the largest and most influential travel trade shows in the world, providing an unparalleled platform for nations to showcase their tourism culture and investment opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, Uganda's participation in the Otm-Bombay Trade Fair is a bold step forward in our mission to diversify our tourism market and increase our global presence. The Otm-Bombay Trade Fair attracts over 1,600 exhibitors from more than 60 countries, 1,000 top buyers, and an impressive 4,000 trade visitors annually. This scale and diversity make it a prime platform for Uganda to position itself as a premier tourism destination. The trade fair comes at a pivotal moment when Uganda is preparing for the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo 2025. There is no better opportunity than this to tap into the Indian market and interact with the thousands of hosted buyers from over 60 countries, inviting them to participate in Powate. Trade fairs and trade shows such as OTM are invaluable avenues for destinations to market their tourism offerings, significantly increasing visibility. For instance, global statistics reveal that countries investing in trade fairs, such as this one, report an average 30% boost in international arrivals and tourism revenues. The India travel market is among the fastest growing globally, with an anticipated 19.4 million visitor departures by 2024. Presenting opportunities for Uganda to position itself as a premier destination with direct flights from Entebbe to Mumbai by Uganda Airlines. We are fostering seamless connectivity to attract more Indian travelers to explore Uganda's unmatched offerings, wildlife, culture, birding, and our iconic scenery. And maybe just to tell you, you can imagine out of the 19.3 million travelers that travel out of India every year, what we get as Uganda, despite our history with the Indian community, we only get around, in 2022, we had only around 25,000 Indians coming here. 2023, we had only around 31,000. So it is a very small number of the 19 million, and you can imagine how much revenue. So I think this is important that we engage more and have more of these numbers grow. This makes our participation at OTM both strategic and timely as we seek to tap into these lucrative Indian and Asian markets and establish Uganda as a preferred destination for Indian tourists and investors. Our participation at OTM aligns with the government's Vision 2040 and tenfold growth strategy, which prioritizes tourism development as a key driver of economic transformation. The Ugandan delegation, including public and private sector stakeholders, will promote the theme, Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, showcasing Uganda as the ultimate adventure of a lifetime. And I know that engagements have been going on with the various members of the private sector and tour operators that will be participating in this expo to help us showcase and market Uganda well at the exhibitions. We aim to achieve significant milestones, including partnerships with international tour operators, promoting the Entebbe-Mumbai route, and fostering sustainable tourism collaborations. This is a unique opportunity to elevate Uganda's profile in India and South Asia, underscoring our commitment to innovation and excellence in tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to announce that Uganda will, for the first time, unveil its Ugandan pavilion at this year's OTM. This pavilion is more than a showcase. It is a statement of our readiness to engage in the world, to share our story and build lasting partnerships. This pavilion is a symbol of our ambition to elevate Uganda's presence on the global stage, ensuring that the Pearl of Africa is recognized for its unmatched beauty and potential. The pavilion will be a hub of activity featuring business-to-business meetings, presentations on Uganda tourism potential, and live cultural showcases. We are committed to creating a space that captures the essence of Uganda and leaves a lasting impression on all who we visit. I therefore wish to extend our heartfelt appreciation to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Uganda Airlines and all stakeholders, including our embassy in India and the Indian embassy to Uganda, who have been instrumental in coordinating Uganda's participation in this prestigious event. And I want to thank you. Probably you deliver a message to the minister. Your efforts to align logistical arrangements and ensure Uganda's effective representations are commendable. Additionally, I commend the role of Uganda's missions abroad, such as the Uganda mission in Delhi, for their unwavering efforts in promoting Uganda as a premium tourism destination. These missions are instrumental in amplifying Uganda's presence globally, and I encourage other missions to emulate this example. I am pleased to note that the Ministry of Finance has provided funds to missions abroad to support Uganda's marketing agenda, and commendable step towards strengthening our global tourism brand. This is a milestone we should all be proud of, a moment to stand united in representing Uganda as a destination of unmatched beauty, culture, and opportunity. Let us embrace this opportunity with determination and pride, knowing that together we can unlock new horizons for Uganda's tourism and investment sectors. In conclusion, I'll just make these few remarks, and I want to thank Uganda Airlines. Right now, as we speak, if you look at our arrivals outside East Africa, outside Africa, the leading country where we get arrivals now is India, beating the US and the UK. And I think this is mainly because of the direct flights Uganda Airlines has scheduled or is scheduling from Mumbai. And this is where I want to encourage most of the Ugandans. And I don't know why sometimes we tend, for instance, bash Uganda Airlines. I've seen some stories maybe last week. But like we've said, the purpose of the airline really is not necessarily to make profit in 1 or 2 years. And it is difficult. There are very few countries that announce profits, especially airlines, national carriers. But if you look at the benefit, for instance, the 30,000 Indians that come here, if we translate that into money over the length of stay they spend, those that visit our different destinations in the country, definitely it would even be more money than what someone spends on just the air tickets. And my prayer is, without Uganda Airlines, for instance, if you stopped operating in Mumbai, I can assure you that these 31,000 numbers we are talking about will definitely drop immediately. So it's important that we continue. It's the road we have in the air. That is it. That's actually the formula. We are going to spend around, I think, $3 billion on the standard gauge. If you calculate how much will have returned in a year, you may not get the figures, but if you look at the goods that come into the country and the business over time, the figures make sense. So I want to thank Uganda Airlines. I want to thank Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And like we've said, this is, unlike the other expos we've participated in, This is a unique one because we've done a few ITB Berlin World Travel Market that we do every year. But I think India is a market with immense potential that we'll focus on. And I want to encourage all the Ugandans, please, you can still participate. The pavilion is big enough to accommodate as many. Please get there and look for business so that we can grow the sector together. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable, for the brief and incisive speech made. Now, the fourth estate, we are on time. Thank you very much for keeping time. But we have strictly 5 minutes for 4 questions, which are very brief. And I request the coordinator, Uganda Media Center, to assist in selecting 4 where you'll share the feedback. Then later we shall have the version of Uganda response. Then after that, we shall request our guests to raise for just a photo session. Then we shall have the anthems in reverse order. DJ, take note. Then we shall allow our guests to depart. Then we go into other administrative arrangements. Thank you. Question time. Mr. Serumaga. You introduce yourself. Media House, stand up, raise up, raise up. Media House, introduce yourself. Briefly hit the question. Thank you.
I wanted to know how the news from the government supports the private sector players, because they are always wanting to participate in those international expos, trade fairs, but they always claim that they can't. Some of them can't afford to do what? To travel abroad to meet those obligations, and we want to know how we can help the private sector take part in those expos. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Serumaga. The director, Ambassador Kamahunje, will guide on the Q&A. Thank you. Next. Come in front. Actually, preferably come at the podium for a record.
Thank you very much. My name is Madison Mumbe. I write for the Nile Post. My question is going directly to the minister. Madame Lama of Uganda Airlines raised a pertinent issue of Ugandans failing to export their products to India. And you promised us that you're going to take note on that and going to have at least a response on that issue. Now that we are having this OTM coming over, we expect to have such kind of loopholes be sorted. Kindly, Minister, have your response towards that. Thank you.
Thank you. Nile Post, Mumbere. Second last question.
Thank you. My name is Ambrose Gahene. I work for Watchdog Online. I have two questions, and they're very brief. One is addressed to the Indian High Commissioner to Uganda. He mentioned some figures to do with the 30,000 Indian community members in Uganda, but I don't know whether these are 30,000 Indian investors in Uganda or the population of the entire Indian community in Uganda, because that looks to be a very small figure. I see Indians everywhere I go, even in the villages. As far as Masaka and Sembabule, you find the Indians there. You go to up-country cities which have sprung up, Indian communities are there. So that figure is very small, and I don't know whether it is of only investors or the entire Indian community. And the second question is addressed to Honorable Minister of State for Tourism. You have said India is the highest in arrivals to Entebbe Airport, that is airline arrivals. But it will be prudent for us as media people to know the figure, how many arrivals of Indian passengers do we receive annually? Thank you very much.
Thank you. CEO Uganda Airlines can communicate on the things. Finally.
Hello. Thank you. Victor Taiwa is my name. I work with NBS TV. My question is not line with the Otm-Bombay. Mine is directed to Ambassador Eli. Just last year, Uganda had issues traveling with national IDs that expired, and of recent, the minister came out and said they're in talks with Kenya, where people were not crossing to the country. And I just want to know how far, Ambassador Eli, how far with the talks, and could there be any update? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Ambassador Eli Karanga. Eli Kamahunje, please take on the podium.
Thank you very much. The Fourth Estate, your questions are very much valued. And I'll just I'll answer three questions, and then I'll let the other questions which have been asked the others were direct questions. Now, the first question was for Media TV Online, was that how does the ministry support those players who want to be able to play in the tourism sector? Now, as it has been stated, like Uganda Airlines stated here, and from the speech of the minister you heard, that Uganda Airlines is partnering with our mission in New Delhi, and you heard the Minister of Tourism stating that the Minister of Finance has provided some financing. In the past, the missions did not have finances, and that's why Uganda was not participating majorly in the expos, because when you have these expos, first of all, you need to pay for the stand, and decorating the stand. And then, so that becomes, it's actually the most expensive thing that you can be able to talk about. Two, when it comes to internal travels, it was very difficult for Ugandans when even they want to participate, for them to be able to travel from where they are staying to the point where they are having the exhibition. So this time around, with the provision of financing from the Ministry of Finance, the missions are able now to arrange for these trade expos by paying for the store. It's very expensive. So they're able to pay for the store, and then they're also able to ensure that the store is also decorated. And like we've stated here, in partnership with Uganda Airlines, the store will be ready. And so the only thing that the Ugandan players, the tour operators will be doing, will be to carry whatever they have, and they go and they'll be able to showcase the tourism products that they have. So we think that this is a very positive move. And then, so we think that this is one way of how this new approach will be able to bring very many players. And maybe I should be able to give some highlights as well. In these expos, the tourism fairs that are always arranged, they are in two ways. One, it is whereby you have those expos that are arranged, like the High Commission of India to Uganda has told you, this event is an annual event, but Uganda had never participated because we did not have the financing. Now, so these expos which are arranged yearly, they are known, so you get to know in time that this expo is going to take place, and that's what Uganda High Commissioner did in India to work with the major players. They worked with Uganda Airlines. We also, the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, and Uganda Tourism Board, plus the tour operators, so that they arrange in time to be able to participate. Then there are also those exhibitions where the government, the missions abroad will be arranging to have specifically exports for Uganda, which will be the objectives and the goals will be set by the private sector in Uganda and the respective MDAs in Uganda, and whether it will be a tourism expo, a trade expo, investment expo, all that will be arranged. So we think that this is something that is new, that the Ugandan private sector should be able to know, so that we can be able to leverage on that and participate effectively. Now, the second question that was asked by Nairo Post was that how come Uganda has been failing to export to India? I just wanted to, the Minister of Trade is not here, but if you ask the people from the Minister of Trade, we have been having 4 main things that affect our exports. The first one is the quantity. Ugandans we have not been able to have enough quantity of the products that are wanted in the market. So sometimes when you are asked to export, the recipient on the other side is expecting a certain quantity. For example, you have heard that we got market access to the Algerian market. We have not been able to take our milk there. One of the reasons was that no single company could be able to have enough quantity to export. But the government of Uganda is trying to work hard to ensure that they bring all the players together so that we can have enough quantities. Now, where we have also had the quantity, we have lacked the quality. You find that you have the quantity, but the quality that is required in the market is not what you have. So you just produce for the sake of producing, and that's why we are now saying that we have to specifically produce with the market in mind, so that the quantity and the quality you are producing is for that specific market. Now, where we have had the quantity and the quality, we have failed to meet the standards, particularly for fruits and vegetables. You have what they call SPS sanitary and phytosanitary issues. So in that area, that's one of the areas where we have really had a problem. And then the fourth one has been that where we have had the quantity, the quality, and the standards, we have failed to meet sustainability. And I'll give you one simple example. Uganda was asked to export ginger to UAE. The market access was achieved. The Ugandans signed an MOU. They supplied first time, second time. And then the market was not sustainable. Because as far as I understand, the Indian market is open, like the High Commissioner has told you. They have duty-free, quota-free market access for the least developed countries, of which Uganda is one. And if you checked on the list of the products that the Indian market is looking for from Uganda, we have not been able to submit to send those products. So the problem, therefore, is on our part to ensure that we work on this area. And if you find that, for example, there's a product that there's a tariff line that maybe is not open, then, like the Indian High Commissioner stated, we'll have a discussion, focused discussion, to see that that specific product that you have identified is addressed. And so the challenge, therefore, is back to you as the Ugandan exporters, Ugandan producers, to ensure that we look at that, and then if there's any problem, you can be able to come to us. We'll have those issues resolved. And again, we want to say, like the Minister stated here and the High Commissioner stated, that this OTM is one area whereby Ugandans should be able to take this opportunity to look at the opportunities on the other side, on the Indian side. They'll be able to meet the Indians they have not been able to meet here, and then you can be able even to make deals. So if you go for this expo, you not only be going for the tourism expo, but you can utilize the opportunity, and the mission is ready. If you have a product that you think you have been wanting to export to the Indian market, and you think you have not been able to get through, come to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, give us the information. We shall ask our High Commission in India. They'll arrange for you focused meetings, and you'll be able to discuss with the players on the other side so that you can have those issues addressed. The other question was on the issues of Ugandans who have had expired IDs and how far we've gone. It is still an ongoing discussion, and there's light at the end of the tunnel, so we hope that this issue is going to be resolved soon. So I now want to thank you, the Fourth Estate, and hand over the microphone to the Indian High Commissioner to Uganda. Then we shall end with our minister so that he can be able to wrap up as well.
Thank you. Oh, no, only question addressed to me about the number of Indians in Uganda. Well, I clarify that I didn't say 30, I said 35,000. And this is not the Indians that are in doing business, but this is the population of entire business community here. And this figure is basically what we get from the Ugandan side also. So this figure may not be precise, but it is more or less the correct figure. And if it appears to you that there are more Indians here, I think one of the reasons could be the what Honorable Minister mentioned, that from outside Africa, one of the highest number of arrivals are from India. So you might be seeing some tourists or business travelers from India who are here for a few days and then they go back. And another reason is that because Indians are in business, so in small numbers you can find them in even the far off places. So, but the total number is not very high. It's a very low as a percentage of local population. Thank you.
Thank you. I think a couple of the questions have been responded to. But like the ambassador said, Ambassador Kamahunje, and I want to thank government because in the NDP4 and our tenfold growth expectations to change from 50 billion, 500 billion, giving the Ministry of Tourism a target of $50 billion. And one of the strategies to grow this really is to offload the responsibility of marketing from only the Ministry of Tourism. And that is why money was given to our embassies so they can also participate in these expos using that small budget they would have received. And through this combined strategy of marketing, and that's why we keep saying that the responsibility of marketing can not only be for us, it should be for every Ugandan if we are to achieve these results. But still, as the Minister of Tourism under Uganda Tourism Board, we still support the private sector through the associations. Sometimes some even go privately on their own through the associations. The Uganda Tour Operators Association can go participate in an expo where government is not. But it's a combination. So where we can, we do. Where we can't, the private sector does. I am now glad to announce, so happy, that now even the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through the small budget that we give from Ministry of Finance, but also small contribution we also make as a Ministry of Tourism to all our missions abroad, they're helping us do this job. So probably whoever wants to participate, you can't carry everyone there, but we try to support as much as we can, and probably the support will grow over time. The issue of failure to export to India has been responded to by the ambassador. It's coming to my attention for the first time. Like I said, we'll continue the discussion and I'll have a discussion with my colleagues. Because for us to make the profit, like Uganda'S said, we need to fuel that belly with some cargo. Why should it be one way, Ambassador? Why should it only be from the other side and not? But these are discussions that, since the engagements are already going on, we can continue having to make sure that this route is profitable for the airline, but also for the Ugandans. Well, I talked about the number of people coming from India, and I said that the number of foreigners coming into the country outside Africa and East Africa, because for instance, Kenya brings here, last year, around 500,000 Kenyans come to Uganda every year. So many people come from Rwanda, DRC. Our biggest market is the East African community and the African community. And a tourist is someone who comes here for various reasons. When an Indian comes here to trade and he stays here for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, he's still a tourist who has come to trade. Yes. If he comes to visit a family which stays here, he's still a tourist because he's a foreigner coming from outside, bringing in money that is not in the economy, foreign currency. So he's still a tourist, but we grade them differently. And then we'll have the leisure tourists. But interestingly, even in the domestic tourism, the Indians have been participating so much. The foreign residents that stay here and often travel across the country, Indians have been a big number. And we are saying that we need to grow the Indian market. If you look at their population and the number of travelers that travel out of India every year, we told you 91,000, and we are only getting 19 million, and we are only getting 31,000. Yet we have a source of the Nile. If all of you know, source of the Nile is where the Mahatma Gandhi ashes were poured. A very prominent figure in the Indian history. We are now developing the source of the Nile. We are doing probably by either early next year. We'll have done some good work, so at least there's something to see. So expect to use this history and attachment to the Indians to grow the number of travelers of Indian origin into the country. So those are the figures that we have. We still believe they are very small. We want them to grow to 1 million. And the moment they grow, definitely it comes with more money into the economy. So I think those are the questions that were asked. But I still want to thank all of you. Ambassador, I want to thank our missions and encourage the others that are not moving yet to move. But we appreciate the leadership, and I can assure you, with this combination of support and ambition, definitely will hit the 50 billion expected from the Ministry of Tourism for the growth of the Ugandan economy. Thank you so much. I still want to encourage the media as I leave and the Ugandans that the responsibility of marketing the Pearl of Africa is for all of us, for you, me, and everyone. It is still the most beautiful country in the world. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. The Fourth Estate is requesting that you do a recap within 2 to 3 minutes in Luganda, and the Director, Ambassador Eli Kamahunje, just 3 minutes for them to have a balanced reporting. Thank you. You can start with Ambassador Kamahunje, or either of the two, one of you. And CEO Uganda Airlines, you had here a question that how far with the purchase of new airline crafts by Uganda Airlines, and when will they be available as the country is having passenger levels growing? Thank you. This is Tom from Daily Monitor. So maybe she can do that, then Muluganda and English then.
Okay, thank you very much. We are looking at the next financial year's budget, and the government has been gracious enough to provide some funding to start with 2 mid-range aircraft, and those are expected to relieve the airline of some of the operational glitches, and to ensure that we deploy more capacity on different routes, and also to deploy more seats on different routes. For example, like Kinshasa, Johannesburg, Lusaka, Harare, and also we expect that the A320 can be able to relieve the Airbus on a Dubai route when we're not operating full board, and also when we don't have cargo. So yes, we are looking forward to the next year's budget, and the first ground payments, I think, will start going to the manufacturer. Thank you. Mwebale nnyo ekibuuzo ekyo eky'ennyonyi, okugula ennyonyi, government siimye ne tugamba nti egenda tutegekerayo ku ssente ezinatandika okusasulibwa ow'omukozi w'ennyonyi nga zino ennyonyi ziri A3, zino ennyonyi ziri mid-range, bridginga gap eya Airbus ne regional carriers oba CRJ Bombardier ziyamba okugenda ku routes ezitalina range nene, zisobole okupositioninga oba okuteekayo capacity mu routes zino ezitali za 2 oba 3 naye nga ziri mu 1,000, 1,500, 1,000. Also zirina belly entonotono esobola okusitula emigugu egimu. So manufacturers bano ab'ennyonyi bwe batera okukola bw'olwawo okusasula nga nabo tebatandika, bw'osasula nga batandika. So kiri eri gwe okwanguwa okusasula then batandike, kubanga ennyonyi bw'ogisasula kati to expectinga maybe 2030 okutuuka muba bwe banaba bayanguye 2028. So kubanga kati demand ya mid range ekuze oba nene, so tusuubira nti government nga bwesiimye bw'enaatandika, but waliwo enteekateeka ey'okufuna dry lease. Dry lease kiringanga bu hiring emmotoka ekuyambeko okutwala abasaabaze. So tugenda kukola dry lease eno nga positioning ennyonyi etuyambeko obuzibu bwe tubadde nabo nga bwe tufuna mechanical problems, nga tufuna disruptions to delaying our flights ate ne tuzicancellinga. So we think that these measures zijja kuyamba okutambuza ennyonyi ya Uganda Airlines mu maaso. Thank you.
Ambassador Eli, briefly, 2 to 3 minutes, a recap of the summary of, then later you'll invite the minister. Luganda, mu Luganda ojja kuyita minister bw'amala nga tusituka nga tuyimba national anthem, tujja tandika ne ya India tumalize ne ya Uganda, then tukiriza abagenyi baffe bagende ffe twekolemu omulimu omutonotono. Mwebale.
Mwebale nnyo ba Fourth Estate. Tubadde wano nga tugamba nti guno gwe mulundi ogusoose kuba nti Uganda nge government bagenda kubanga baparticipatinga mu eno show egenda kubeera India, ate nga bwe mamuwulidde Buyindi ly'eggwanga erisingayo abantu mu nsi yonna, lyayita ne ku China, ate bw'ogamba mu economy ye fourth yeyokuna ebeera ne sente GDP enene mu nsi yonna. Kati babagambye nti abantu bwe bafunye sente batandise okutambula. Kati babagambye nti last year alone balina million 19 ez'abantu abatambula bava Buyindi. Naye bw'ogenda kulaba nti olaba nti Uganda yafunako abantu batono nnyo. Kasinga Uganda egenda nefunayo million ng'emu yokka, kijja kuba nga kiyambye eggwanga lino okufuna esente mu byobulambuzi. So nga bwe tubagambye Uganda Airlines egezaako okukola ne mission yaffe Buyindi, ate ne ministry za wano yafuna erabira ensi ez'ebweru n'ebyobulambuzi babadde bakolagana wamu ne ba private sector kulaba nti bayamba ba private sector batambule nabo bagende bamarketinga eggwanga lyaffe, kubanga nga bwe mumanyi government tekola business, naye government bweteekako ekintu ekyokuyamba aba private sector kutambula kugenda nabo kijja kiyambye nnyo. Ate nga bwe tubadde tugambye nti kubanga Uganda Airlines bagambye nti mu bbere y'ennyonyi bw'eba egenda nga terinamu kintu kyonna, ate bw'eba ekomawo n'ebintu. Naye nga bwe tubagambye babadde balowooza nti oba abeeri be batagala ebintu byaffe, naye nga bwe mbagambye bali baagala ebintu byaffe, naye lwakubanga ebyo bintu byengambye ebintu tetubirina mu bungi nga bwe babyetaaga, ate ne bwe tubeera nga tubirina mu bungi nga bwe babyetaaga bebanga mu mutendero gwe beetaaga ensi gwe tulina. Ate oluusi bwe tutuusa ebyo tuba nga tetuyinza kusustaininga kuba nabyo mu budde bwonna. Osanga omuntu alimu ebijanjaalo katugambe naye ebijanjaalo bijja kubeera omwezi emirundi 2 mu mwaka kati giri emyezi endala gibeerako temulina na storage kati ebyo bye tulina okukolako ng'abantu kulaba nti ebintu ebyo tuba nga tubitereka tubirina we babyetaagira wetubitwalira so bwe tuba tukoze ekyo tubadde tugamba nti awo Uganda ejja kuba nga egenda buyindi erabe nti ebintu byayo babitwala ate n'abayindi nabo bajje wano babeere abalambuzi baffe wano tukolagane wamu ate nga bwe tubagambye bwe tunasanga nga waliwo ensonga ebaddewo ng'ebintu bibaddewo naye nga tebabikkiriza eri tujja kwogera ne bannaffe wano nga bwe mulabye wano high commissioner wano tujja kuba nga twogera naye kati mwekirimu okutukolera mutuyambe muleete information mu foreign affairs nga tetunagenda kweno show ate bwe munaaba nga mwagala waliwo ebintu bye mwagala kutwalayo bibadde nga biganye mubireete mutugambe high commission yaffe India bagenda kuorganizinga meeting mu meeting abantu abo bali eri bajja kubayamba kulaba nti ebintu byaffe bitambula mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala. Honorable Minister, it's you now to address.
Era nga ambassador bwagambye ensonga etuleese wano leero kwe kulangirira omulundi gwaffe ogusooka nga Uganda okuparticipatinga mu show ey'omwoleso ennene ennyo ey'amaanyi emukuz'amaanyi mu nsi yonna mu India omulundi gwaffe ogusooka era kino kisobodde okubaawo lwa enkolagana ebaddewo wakati wa Uganda Airlines n'embase yaffe eri e New Delhi oba India ne ministries endala omuli foreign affairs tourism n'abalala ne private sector yaffe egenda okwolesa okulaba nga tuparticipatinga mu mwoleso guno ng'ensonga enkulu mumanyi nti gavumenti eyina pulaani okulaba nga ekulaakulanya ennyingiza yaayo oba ensimbi z'eyina okuva ku buwumbi 5 obwa $, okutuuka ku buwumbi $50,000 mu myaka omwaka gwa 2040 era emu ku strategies zeetaddeyo kwe kulaba nga ekulaakulanya sekita nnyingi omuli oil ne gas, manufacturing, agriculture n'ebyobulambuzi ng'emu ku sectors. Ate sekita y'obulambuzi yeesuubirwa okuleeta obukadde 5 obwa $, nga by omwaka gwa 2040 era kyovula gavumenti okutuukiriza kino yateeka ssente mu bifo bingi nnyo neteeka ne Ministry of Foreign Affairs ne mu embassies zaffe naffe nga ministry netuteekamu entono okulaba nga ekintu kino kituukirirwa ensimbi zino zetwogerako tusobola ozifuna ng'eggwanga n'olwekyo njagala okweyanza abo bonna abagenda okuparticipatinga n'okweyanza baganda baffe ab'ebuyindi abadde basobola okujja e Uganda nga bwe bagambye abayindi buli mwaka abava e Buyindi ne balambula ensi amawanga amalala bali abayindi 19,300,000 ne kwaba abantu bonna ffe betufunako nga Uganda bali abantu omwaka oguwedde abantu 3,100,000 eyo namba ntono nnyo era okulaba okuyita mu bintu bino nga flight gye tulina ya Uganda Airlines egendayo buli mirundi 3 mu wiiki tusaba nti zeeyongere namu ebeere ya buli lunaku abantu bano beeyongere wakiri tuweze maybe 5,000 oba akakadde enamba eyo bweyongera ne ssente n'ebyensimbi byeyongera okujja mu ggwanga because buli mugwira ajja wano n'asulawo n'aspendinga ssente n'agenda mu restaurant n'alya emmere n'afuna waasula ffenna tuganyulwamu ng'eggwanga y'ensonga enkulu olunaku olwaleero oba ekituleese wano leero so ndowooza that's the
webale nnyo. I request MDA representatives to just get behind the high table. We are going for a group photo. Then immediately we shall have our anthems cited in reverse order. Then we allow the minister and the high commissioner to exit. Then we do internal self-management. Please move. You remain seated, the high table, kindly. They are just coming to take this route. So the fourth estate, Do you what you always do best. Thank you. I invite also the Deputy ED to join there. Okay. Thank you. You smile. Thank you. Okay, so we request also the high table to raise up. Manage. Thank you. It's okay. So as we prepare for the national anthems, please, let's all raise. DJ, India, then Uganda. Okay, protocol, please. Thank you for coming. May God bless you for God and my country. Thank you.